Yo, 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 what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Oh boy, more NBA drama. You better believe it, Aunt Payne. Make sure y'all go ahead. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit the likes. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping in this live right here. Let me send out the notifications. Make sure you tap in and let us know where you're coming in from. Let's give it like 2 minutes for people to catch up to this live. Give me a second. What's good? What's good? Make sure y'all tap in and let us know where you're coming in from. Yes, we got a pretty interesting live for you guys here today before Christmas Eve. Strong Island was good. Shout out to Strong Island. Shout out to Columbia, Missouri. Rock Island, I see you. Friends, shout out to friends. New Jersey. Shout out to New Jersey, North Korea, Dallas, Queens, New York, Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn's always good to have Brooklyn in town. We always got a lot of people from Brooklyn. I went to a lot of people from high school from Brooklyn. Trinidad, Seattle, Jackson. Where else we got? Milwaukee, BKNY, PA, Miami, 305. Shout out to Miami, man. I actually never been to Miami. Shout out to Queens, Rochester, New York. What else we got up in here? Shout out to LA. I see LA, Boston. What else we got? What else we got up in here? San Diego, Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta. New Orleans. Shout out to Toronto. Oklahoma. Let's give it like another minute. We're going to get into this live. You know, when we do lives like this, we won't be having time to waste people's time. So let's give it like another 30 seconds. Let everybody tap in. Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. Bro, son, what's good? We may talk about the Pitts. Shout out to Nigeria. Washington, Harlem. Damn, shout out to Harlem, man. This is bringing me back to high school. Harlem, Cleveland, Birmingham, Alabama. What else we got up here? Tokyo. Shout out to Tokyo. Let me see what else we got. Chi-Town. Shout out to Chicago. All right, let's give it 10 more seconds. We're going to get into this live. Let's try to get these likes up to 100 likes, and we're going to get into it. Shout out to L.A., Flint, Michigan. Shout out to Flint. Bangladesh. Okay. Alabama. All right, 10 more seconds. We're going to get into it. And Philly. Figueroa. Okay, so let me get into this live here so I don't waste you guys' time. Make sure y'all keep coming in. Make sure y'all keep coming in. We in here. All right, so we actually got a lot of content coming out today, but we're going to be off for Christmas and all of that, but we're going to be right back the next day for, for the day after Christmas, because a lot of NBA games and stuff like that. Shout out to Dallas, Texas. So we're in the Virgin Islands. So we definitely going to be doing that. So what happened? I forgot where I saw it. Where did I see it? I saw it on the internet somewhere, and I come across an article basically saying that Shaquille O'Neal has threatened to smack the SHI you know what out of Chris Mad Dog Russo. And I'm like, Shaq is threatening to smack Chris Mad Dog Russo. Now, of course, for the people that don't believe, I'm going to give you the article here. We're going to get this. This is from Sports Illustrated. Let me post that right there. So for the people that don't believe, because usually people that don't believe, they think we capping. But that's from Sports Illustrated. I want to read it. It says, Shaq issues fiery response to Chris Russo, saying he's just the fifth greatest center. Chris Mad Dog Russo recently filled the ESPN airways with a hot take that the Hall of Famer Shaq isn't the fifth best center, is just the fifth best center in NBA history. O'Neal isn't having it. On the big podcast with Shaq, he said, "I'm the most dominant center ever. I don't ever want to hear another name again." Russo argued to First Take co Stephen A. Smith and Jay Williams that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Will Chamberlain, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone are better than O'Neal. It then goes on. O'Neal, the 15-time All-Star, 4-time NBA champion, considers himself to boast a better resume than Malone and Olajuwon. He said, "That would put me at number 3, O'Neal said. I passed Hakeem Olajuwon. The King beat me. I came back and beat him. Moses Malone, I passed him up 4, 5, 6 years before I retired." O'Neal admits Chamberlain and Abdul-Jabbar are ranked higher than himself. Then, from another article, it says this is the Shaq. This is from New York Post. Let me post this one right here too. This is from the New York Post. Let me post this right here. And it says Shaq barks at Chris Russo over NBA all-time center ranking. Who the F is that? Shaquille O'Neal basically responded to what he said, and then he goes, on the O'Neal Big Podcast, co-host Adam Lefkiel played the clip of Russo blasting Shaq for saying that Stephen Curry might be the greatest player of all time and questioning the former center's own place in the pantheon of greats. O'Neal's first reaction to the clip was, who the F is that? Leo responded that it was Chris Russo, and that the longtime sports talk radio host said O'Neal was the fifth best center in history. And then he proceeded to play the whole segment for Shaq. Then Shaq said, let's just get it straight. I would smack the bleep out of that dude. So that's what Shaq said, and you guys can go up on YouTube and look up the full clip, the full video, but it's on that article. So for people that don't believe me, you can click on that article, and it'll take you to the full video. You guys can go watch it. Some people are saying, why didn't you produce this tomorrow? Because tomorrow we're not going to be around, although we have some content coming out tomorrow, but we won't be around. So that's the reason why we're just doing a live right now. We got a lot of content coming out today. So you heard what Shaq had to say. Y'all heard what Shaq had to say. Shaq totally disagrees with Chris Mad Dog Russo's point. Also, again, if you guys are not following the Dreamers Pro podcast, we just pinned that right there. We're on Spotify and iTunes. Make sure you guys check that out. Let me just pin this message to the top. So make sure you follow the Dreamers Pro podcast. All right, let's get into what Shaq said. That he was smacked the you-know-what out of Chris Mad Dog Russo. First of all, this isn't the first time that Chris Mad Dog Russo has said something that irritated an NBA player. Remember, he had to think about Draymond Green, talking about Draymond Green complains too much. Draymond took it the type of way. He had to blow up with JJ Redick on ESPN First Take. JJ Redick took it the type of way. That's when they had the plumbers and all of that stuff or whatever. But let's get back to the original point. Shaq said that Stephen Curry should be considered as, we should be talking about him as one of the greatest players ever. When Shaq said that, I got to ask, I don't know what Shaq was talking about. I don't know what Shaq is talking about. Stephen Curry has been he's been one of the guys to revolutionize basketball. Absolutely. But just because you revolutionize a sport does not mean you're the best ever or one of the best. To me, Stephen Curry is like top 12 for me. Some people say he's top 10. I don't think so. Right? If I just go off the top of my head with some of the greatest players, of course, you have Akeem Olajuwon, you got Bill Russell, you got Tim Duncan, you got Larry Bird, you have Magic Johnson, you have Kobe, you have Jordan, you have Shaq, you have LeBron. Maybe there's somebody else that's not coming up in my mind right now. But for me, I think Stephen Curry is like between that 13 to like 11 spot. Because he's not, I don't have him ahead of Akeem Olajuwon. I don't think he's a better basketball player than Akeem Olajuwon. I don't think he's a better basketball player than Tim Duncan. I don't think he's better than LeBron James, and I don't think Stephen Curry should be ranked ahead of LeBron James. I don't think so. And when people were bringing up that, oh, Steph is better than LeBron, I thought that was crazy. Because, yes, Stephen Curry may have captured his fourth championship. We got that. But if I'm looking at these two guys as basketball players, I would take LeBron 1,000 out of 1,000 times over Stephen Curry. 1,000 out of 1,000 times is how many times I would take LeBron. Wilt Chamberlain, that's another name. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I forgot so many names. Exactly. Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem. I forgot Kareem. He's number 2 on my all-time list. I forgot him. So Stephen Curry doesn't make it into the top 5 for me. Because you got to ask the question, is he better than Jordan? No. Is he better than Kobe? No. Is he better than Kareem? No. Is he better than LeBron? No. Is he better than Wilt Chamberlain? I would say no. Is he better than Bill Russell? Well, it really depends on what you're looking at. Is he better than Tim Duncan? No. He's not better than any of those guys. Are you going to put him ahead of Magic Johnson? Now, some people will say that Steph is the greatest point guard ever. I disagree. I think it's Magic Johnson because Magic Johnson is the greatest quintessential point guard ever. So when Shaq said that, I think he lost a lot of people. And I think that's what irritated Chris Mad Dog Russo. For the new people coming in, first of all, we want to welcome you guys. Let's try to get these likes to 300 likes. For the new people coming in, Shaq basically responded to Chris Mad Dog Russo. I want to read an article from the New York Post. Let me post it here because I hate when I go on a live and then I miss the beginning of it and I don't know what the hell is going on. So let me read a little bit what's going on here. Let me post it for you guys right here. So basically, the article says Shaq barks back at Chris Russo over NBA all-time centers ranking. Who the F is that? Continues on. Shaquille O'Neal is marking his territory with Mad Dog. Early this week on ESPN First Take, Chris Russo declared that O'Neal is only the 5th best center in NBA history. And how the 4-time NBA champion has responded, and this is how the 4-time NBA champion has responded to the assertion. On O'Neal's big podcast, co-host Adam played the clip of Russo blasting Shaq for saying that Stephen Curry might be one of the greatest players of all time and questioned the former center's own place in the pantheon of greats. O'Neal's first reaction to the clip was to ask, who the F is that? His co-host responded and said that was Chris Russo, and that the longtime sports talk radio host had said O'Neal was the 5th best center in the history of the NBA. And then Shaq goes on to say, let's just get it straight. I would smack the SHI you know what out of that dude. If you scroll down further on the article, you will see where Shaq said it. So that's what we're reacting to. Shaq is reacting to what Chris Mad Dog Russo said about him on ESPN. What is it on ESPN First Take, right? So back to Shaq's point. Is Shaq the 5th greatest center of all time? Is he to me, I personally believe, and some people disagree. Some people say it's Wilt Chamberlain because you know Wilt Chamberlain has numbers. Matter of fact, let's pull up Wilt Chamberlain stats. Just to give this live some context. Let's pull up Wilt Chamberlain stats. Wilt Chamberlain stats. Because Wilt Chamberlain stats are from like another universe. Okay, it's like we're never going to see stats like that. Wilt Chamberlain, apart from the fact that he's a 2-time NBA champion, 1-time finals MVP, 4-time regular season MVP, 13-time All-Star, he made 2 all-first defensive teams. He led the league in scoring 7 times. He led the NBA in rebounding 11 times. And I think one season, let's go to some of his stats. Let me go to his regular season stats. So Wilt Chamberlain, in the 1961-62 season, he averaged 50 points per game. That is the NBA record. He also holds the record for most rebounds ever in a season, averaging 27 rebounds. And he also he holds the record for the most minutes played. Somehow he played 48.5 minutes a game. I don't know how he did that. So for his career, 48. So for his career, he played 45 minutes a game. He averaged 22.9 rebounds a game for his career. And he's right behind Michael Jordan for the highest scoring average ever at 30.5. 30.5. Now, some people will argue the time and the era and all of that stuff. That's Wilt. That's Wilt Chamberlain. Chris Mad Dog Russo was saying that he believes that Hakeem is better than Shaq. Now, let me pull up Hakeem's stats. Apart from his stats, for the people that saw Hakeem Olajuwon play, let me see Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon was also a 2-time champion, back-to-back with the Houston Rockets. He's a 2-time Finals MVP. He also won a regular season MVP award, 12-time All-Star, 6 All-First NBA teams, 3 second, 3 thirds. So he made 6, 9, 10 All NBA teams. He won a Defensive Player of the Year 2 times. He was All-First Defensive 5 times. All defensive second team. He did that 4 times. And then if you look at some of his individual stats, right? Hakeem Olajuwon, let me give you guys some stats. Hakeem Olajuwon, get this. He averaged in some seasons 14 rebounds a game. And one of his best seasons, he averaged 4.6 blocks per game. For his career, he averaged 22 points per game, 11 rebounds. 22 points per game, 3 blocks a game, 11.11 rebounds. How many steals? 1.7 steals as a center while shooting 51% from the field. And if you watch Hakeem Olajuwon play, I think he is the most fundamentally sound big man in the history of basketball. Him, Kevin McHale, these guys have the best footwork in the history of basketball. But more importantly, when Hakeem went head-to-head with Shaq, he dominated him. He didn't only dominate Shaq, he dominated David Robinson and all of them. So when it came time to go against Shaq head-to-head, Hakeem Olajuwon was extremely dominant, and I have him in my top 10. Some people disagree. I do. Because he's arguably, or if not the most skilled big man to ever play basketball. To ever. For people to say that, for as skilled as Nikola Jokic is, you see, Nikola Jokic is skilled offensively and with his passing. Hakeem was also skilled offensively because he had the best footwork ever, but he was one of the greatest defenders ever. So to me, I got him in my top 10. Now, some people can argue that Shaq is a better basketball player than Hakeem. But what Shaq didn't really have was the longevity because of his weight, his size, all of those different things. So we got that. So who are centers we're going to put Shaq ahead of? Would y'all put Shaq ahead of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Say yes or no. Would you put Shaq? Let me put a poll up here. Let me start a poll. Is Shaq ahead of Kareem? Let me see. Let's start a poll. Let me see what the poll says. Let me see what y'all gonna say on the poll. Somebody said hell no. Let me see what the poll says. Y'all go ahead and leave a vote. Let me see what y'all gonna say in the poll. So 92% said no. Let me see. 87%. Damn, 87% said no. 87, that's 100 votes. Let's try to get the votes up to 300 votes. Drop 300 votes. Let's see what people are saying about that. So the vast majority of people are saying no. I'm going to leave it up for a few minutes. Most people are saying no. And I wouldn't put Shaq ahead of Kareem. So you have Kareem, right? So most people are going to say no. Would you put Shaq ahead of Wilt Chamberlain? Yes or no? Would y'all put Shaq ahead of Wilt Chamberlain? Let me see what y'all saying for that one. No, no, yes, 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 no, 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 no. Nah, we gotta do a poll then. Let me end the poll. Let me see. Start a poll. Is Shaq ahead of Wilt? Let me see what y'all say. Let me know what y'all think in the poll. Let's see some votes. Let's try to get to like 100, 200 votes. Let's see what people say. Is Shaq ahead of Wilt Chamberlain? Let me see what people are saying. We got 70 votes, 48 votes. I don't know how the hell we went from 70 to 48. We got 109 votes. So most people are saying no. 133 votes, 150 votes. So most people are saying no. 160 votes. Let me see what y'all are saying. 170. So the majority of people are saying no. Okay. Let me ask y'all another question. So Shaq right now, according to this audience, and let's try to get these likes up to 300 likes. Appreciate you guys for being a part of this. According to the audience says that they have Kareem ahead of Shaq. They have Wilt ahead of Shaq. So Shaq is currently number 3. Let's do Shaq and Bill Russell. Is Shaq ahead of Bill Russell? Let me see what y'all say for this one. This should be interesting. What do y'all think? Should Shaq be ranked ahead of Bill Russell? Let me see what y'all gonna say on this one. Okay, looks like Shaq may be getting the edge right now. Let me see. Well, damn. Let me see. We got 128 votes. Okay, Shaq is. Looks like it looks like people are going for Shaq. Let's try to get it like. Let me see 300 votes. Let me see if we can get up to 300 votes. Who should be ahead of who? Should Shaq be ranked ahead of Bill Russell all time? Let's try to get to 300 votes. Let me see how that's doing. 300 votes. For the new people coming in, keep voting. For the new people coming in, Shaq just basically said he would smack Chris Mad Dog Russo for basically smack the SHI, you know what, out of him for saying that he's not one of the 5th greatest. He's only 5th greatest centers of all time. So basically, it's a split this. Damn, 50-50. 200 votes, 100 each. That's crazy. Keep going. Let me see. 200 votes. Let me see. So is Shaq ahead of Bill Russell? Yo, y'all are this is so the majority of you guys is saying, damn, look at this poll. What are y'all saying right now? This is let me see this. So basically, this is a toss-up. Okay, so basically, y'all are saying no. 225 people. Well, hold on. Let me see. Yo, this is crazy. Let me see. Let's see if it gets to 300 votes. Let's try to get the likes up to 300 likes. Let's see. Let's try to get the poll to 300 votes. Wherever it stops at 300, that's going to be the result. Let me see. 50-50, 232. This is crazy. Let me see. Yo, this is crazy. I've never seen a poll like this. Who's better, Shaq or Bill Russell? Who should be ranked ahead? Damn, I never seen a poll like this. I might take a picture of this poll. Let me see. 240. I feel like I'm doing an auction right now. 240, 242, 243. Let's see. 50-50. Yo, this is crazy. All right, so basically 253. So basically it's like a split decision. Most people are saying it's saying Shaq. All right, so it's basically Shaq. Now let me ask you guys, who should be ahead? Is Shaq ahead of Hakeem? Is Shaq ahead of Hakeem? And then I'm gonna ask you about Stephen Curry. Is Shaq ahead of Hakeem? Let me see what the people are gonna say, because this is gonna be a tough one. Let me see. Somebody said hell no. Somebody said, who said that? Gil Strickland. He said hell no. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think Shaq's gonna win this one. I don't think Shaq is gonna win this poll. Nah, I don't think he's gonna win this poll. 189 votes. Nah, Shaq not gonna win. So basically, according to this audience right now, and the people in this live, y'all got Shaq at least number 4 or number 5. Y'all got him behind Kareem. Y'all got him behind Wilt. Y'all got him behind Hakeem. That's 3. And he's somewhere between tie or not with Bill Russell. So Shaq is probably the 4th or 5th best center. Or 4th or 5th. Now, some people would disagree, but that's what people are saying. Now, some people put Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, although he's listed as a 5, he played a lot of the 4. Although he's listed as a 5. Okay, so let me ask y'all another question. Shout out to the audience. Let me ask y'all another question. Do you think Stephen Curry is a top 10 player? Let me ask the audience this question, because I don't think he is. Let me ask the audience, is Stephen Curry top 10? Let me ask y'all, what do y'all think? Is Stephen Curry a top 10 player? Because I don't have Stephen Curry ahead of LeBron. And they're tied in championships. So it's not just championships. I'm not looking at it just by championship, because we're looking at the basketball players. I think it's laughable to have Stephen Curry ahead of LeBron James. This is just my personal view. So 153 people are saying no. So Steph is not. So then that means Steph cannot be a top 5 player. Steph cannot be a top 5 player. The majority of people are saying no. And I agree. So when Shaq was saying, people are saying Stephen Curry should be on the Mount Rushmore. I don't even know what that means. I don't think Stephen Curry is a top 10 player. So there's no way he can be in the GOAT conversation. There's no way. Because the fact of the matter is, Steph has played on a lot of super teams. The one super team I don't think he played on was the last one when they won that championship. And that was his most impressive championship. Why was that his most impressive one? Number one, he was the real guy. Number 2, they were still questioning Klay Thompson if he was still Klay Thompson. Number 3, Stephen Curry had the most success out of the against the number 1 rated defense in the playoffs that year in the Boston Celtics. You remember what that Boston Celtics defense did to Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant in round 1? Do y'all remember that? Do you remember how hard it was for Giannis Antetokounmpo and these guys to play in the second round against them? Let me see, who's this? Steph, oh my dude, man. Yo, okay. Too Raw, if you do a live and I catch you on a live, man, I'm gonna hit you back up with a Christmas gift. Shout out to Too Raw. Steph is not top 5, and Shaq ain't smacking anybody. Yo, shout out to Too Raw for TV, man. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Too Raw for TV. He said Shaq ain't smacking anybody. Shout out to Too Raw for TV, man. That's my dude, man. That's my dude. Shout out to him, man. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think Steph is top 10. I don't think he's top 10 because who you put him ahead of? As much as LeBron gets on my nerves, he ain't better than LeBron James. He for damn sure ain't better than Kobe Bryant. He's not better than Michael Jordan. He ain't better than Kareem. He ain't better than Tim Duncan. Some people will try to make the argument Magic Johnson. Most people won't. Most NBA fans you meet will not say that Stephen Curry should be ahead of Magic Johnson. Most. I'm just talking about the casual basketball fan walking around planet Earth. The vast majority of them will still say Magic Johnson. So I think Steph is ahead of Kevin Durant. I think Steph is ahead of Kevin Durant. Yes. I got Steph in that 15 to 10 mark. And there are a lot of great players that we're not thinking of right now. Like a lot of great players that we're not even thinking about right now that we could make a serious argument. But to me, I think, no, Steph is one of those, is Curry ahead of AI? That's a good question, man. Is Stephen Curry ahead of AI? Yes, all time, yes. But I'm just thinking about them as players too, man. Yeah, I would say Stephen Curry. The thing that made Allen Iverson so incredible was that number one, he was 6'1", 6'2", probably with his sneakers. Number two, Allen Iverson only weighed 165, and he played in one of the slowest eras ever as a 6'2" dude scoring 30 points per game. That's pretty damn incredible. And I gotta ask myself the question: if you replace AI with Stephen Curry on that 2000 Philadelphia team, going up against the Lakers in the NBA Finals, can Stephen Curry get a better result against Shaq and Kobe than AI? I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because of the personnel that Allen Iverson was playing with. Let me ask you guys a question the other way. If Allen Iverson was playing with a shooter and a 3-man like Draymond Green, do you think he would have at least one championship in his NBA career? At least one. I don't have ahead of Isaiah Thomas. We're going to get to that. That's a good point. Do you think he would have at least one if he played with Klay Thompson and Draymond Green? At least one. Some people are saying absolutely. Some people are saying 4. In this era, yes. Some people are saying yes. So we're ranking Steph ahead of AI because of his style of play and his chips. But if we look at their careers, Allen Iverson never played with that level of talent. The most talent AI ever played was when he went to Denver to go play with Carmelo Anthony and I think Kenyon Martin. I think Marcus Camby was there. If it was a Marcus Camby, one of those. If not, is it Marcus Camby or Nene? One of these guys. So it's hard to say. On his face, you'll say, well, AI. I mean, Steph. But when you think about it, man, I don't know. AI was a monster, man. And I'm not sure if you put Stephen Curry on that Sixers team, I'm not sure they make it to the finals. Do you know why? Because for as much attention as Stephen Curry draws, we cannot discount the fact that he's playing with another top 5 shooter in NBA history. Allen Iverson never played with a top 5 nobody. Ever. At any position. Ever. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have Steph ahead of Isaiah. Now, this is a good question. Let me ask the audience: should Steph be ahead of? Let me ask the audience: is Steph ahead of Isaiah Thomas? And y'all got to think about this before you ask: is Steph ahead of Is Stephen Curry ahead of Isaiah Thomas? Think carefully before you answer. Think carefully before you answer. Because y'all got to look at who Isaiah Thomas was playing as well. The vast majority are going to say, yeah, Steph. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I think it should be Steph, but I don't think it's like a no-brainer. Because Isaiah Thomas was a bad boy. And he did win 2 championships. And he was playing with a very, very dominant Detroit Pistons team in an era where they had Larry Bird and the Celtics and Magic Johnson with the Lakers. Isaiah Thomas was still doing his thing. He cannot shoot like Steph. No one can shoot like Steph, really. Okay, so most people are saying, "Damn, okay, looks kind of close." Well, hold up, it's not a foregone conclusion. Hold on, let me see. Damn, 50-50. Hold up. Let me look at this poll. What are y'all saying in this poll? All right, we're gonna leave it up. We're gonna leave it up, and we're gonna let y'all keep voting on that. So let's get back to the people coming into the live. I want to talk about what Shaq had to say to Chris Mad Dog Russo. Let me read it right here. We're reading from the New York Post. Basically, it's saying that let me post the article right here. It says Shaq barks back as Chris Mad Dog Russo over NBA all-time center rankings. Who the F is that? And the article basically says earlier this week on ESPN First Take, Chris Russo declared that Shaq is only the 5th best center in NBA history. And Shaq responded where he basically said on the show, O'Neal's first reaction to the clip was, who the F is that? And then he goes on to say, let's just get it straight. I will smack the SH, you know what, out of that dude. So that's what Shaq had to say. So do y'all think Shaq is within his right to say that? Or do y'all think Shaq is wrong for saying that? What do y'all think? Do y'all think Shaq should have said that or not? Because to me, most people are saying more or less. To me, listen, I think Chris Mad Dog has the right to his own opinion. I don't know if I would have said that if I was Shaq, like I will smack you. But Shaq has the right to feel the way that he's going to feel. Right? He has the right to feel the way he's going to feel, but from some of the polls that we've done, most people do not have Shaq as the greatest center of all time. On the polls we did, they have Shaq as probably the 4th or 5th best center. The polls we did, they got Akeem Olajuwon ahead of him. They got Will Chamberlain ahead of him. They got Hakeem, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar they have ahead of him. So it was tied for like between him and Bill Russell and then some other centers. So to me, is Shaq the most dominant player ever? I would probably say so. But then again, I never watched Will Chamberlain play. I didn't see all of these great, like I didn't get to see it live. But in terms of players that I've seen dominate for that 3-year stretch with the Los Angeles Lakers, you couldn't stop Shaq. And I think if Shaq played today, it would be a nightmare trying to guard a player like Shaq today. It would be because he would foul out your entire team. There's no way you could put a 6'10" dude at the center position and say, go play Shaq. It would be a disaster. It would be a total disaster. And that's the reason why when they asked Kobe if they played against the Lakers played against the Golden State Warriors, the 2017 war. Everybody I've heard talk about that series, the one person they said was Shaq. That was the only comment. They were like, Shaq. What are we going to do with Shaq? Mad Dog onto something. Let me see. Mad Dog onto something. Kareem 1, 2. Onto something. 1 Kareem, 2 Hakeem, 3 Wilt. 1 Kareem, 2 Hakeem, 3 Wilt, 4 Russell. No matter the order, Shaq is 5th and Curry is not top 10. 4 rings and 1 finals MVP is not enough. I hear what you're saying. Now, appreciate the comment. I want to go back to the thing you said about 4 rings and 1 finals MVP is not enough. If LeBron James had 3 rings and 1 finals MVP, and Stephen Curry has 4 rings and 2 finals MVP, if you ask me which of those 2 players were better all time, I will still pick LeBron. I will still pick LeBron. Because as somebody watching basketball, I don't see how you could say Stephen Curry is a better basketball player than LeBron James. I don't see it. From a basketball standpoint, LeBron can do way more things. For as much as I get on LeBron, Steph has never made an all-defensive team ever. Y'all know Kevin Durant has never made all defense ever. Ever. So even if he had more rings and more finals MVPs, I would still say he's better because of basketball. Let me hear now. Man, too raw, man. Okay. Let me know when you're going live and I'm going to throw the love back at you, man. He said, you can make an argument that Moses Malone may have had a better career. That now, to Raw's point, that is what Chris Mad Dog Russo was saying. That's exactly what Chris Mad Dog Russo said. Let's try to get these likes up to 500 likes if we can do it. That's exactly what he said. And then Jay Williams and Stephen A. Smith started laughing him off the stage. They started laughing him off the set, basically saying, how can you say something so crazy like that? To me, I think an argument can be made. But if we look at dominance and everything Shaq did with the flair in which he did it, and you look at his entire career, I think most people will still pick Shaq. But I don't see how you can put Shaq ahead of Kareem. I don't see how you can put him ahead of Wilt or Hakeem, especially when him and Hakeem went head up. Hakeem was embarrassing dudes. Playmaker, Curry 4 rings in 6 years on LeBron watch. LeBron is all talk. Now, listen, Curry was definitely a rival of LeBron James, absolutely. But I don't think he's a better basketball player. I cannot see it. I just can't see it. And when people started saying it, I was like, what are we talking about? And some people were looking at me like, you defending LeBron. I'm not defending LeBron, but I can't see it. If I had to pick between those 2 guys, I give me LeBron a million times. Yeah, LeBron ain't gonna shoot 85% from the free throw line. Yeah, he not gonna shoot 40% from the 3-point line, but he gonna do a whole lot more than Curry is. And if Stephen Curry is not affecting the game, scoring, yes, I know he can still be a threat to score, but at least LeBron gonna rebound, he gonna defend, he gonna play make, he gonna do a lot of things. So I would take LeBron, especially over a 7-game series. And I think LeBron is probably the more durable player. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. Phil Goodwill Realty, he said, Wilt Chamberlain out bench press Shaq at 50 years old while Shaq was. Is that true? Hold on. Wilt Chamberlain benched more than Shaq? Look at the stats for Curry versus LeBron matchups. I appreciate the hold on. Wilt Chamberlain can out bench press Shaq? Yo, that's crazy. But you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised either. Somebody says Smush Parker. I'm not surprised either because I saw a video, not a video, like a clip of Shaq and Charles Barkley with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, like assisting them to lift weights. Charles Barkley was benching just as much as I think. Some people have natural strength that it's not by their muscles. Like you can look at some guy, they'll look strong, but there's some people that are just strong as an ox, man. I heard people that are super strong as like Carmelo Anthony, Ron Artest, Steven Adams. Look at Steven Adams. Steven Adams don't look like I don't know, Serge Ibaka or Zion. He ain't built like that. But I heard Steven Adams is the strongest player in the NBA. Steven Adams. I think I saw a clip on when he was trying. Yeah, Ben Wallace is another one. He was trying to break up a fight, and he just picked up. Think about it. You're picking up a 6'8", 9'10" NBA player like you picked up, like you're picking up a toddler, and just started walking him across. I'm like, wait, what? What version of Shaq would you pick, Orlando or Lakers? I would pick Lakers. Absolutely, I would pick Lakers. Curry didn't need to chase rings. That's an argument. Charles was benching fake weights. Nah, Charles Barkley was strong. Charles Barkley, from what I read upon him, was strong. But for me, change the rules to stop Wilt. Same thing for Shaq. Would you rather build a team with Steph or LeBron? Oh, LeBron James. If you gave me 10 opportunities to pick between Steph and LeBron, I'm picking LeBron 10 times. 10 times. I will pick LeBron. And I'm not a huge LeBron fan, but I'll pick him 10. Nah. Like, let's not get crazy. Like, come on. Let's not. I mean, LeBron's not my favorite player, but let's not get crazy. For me, I would pick LeBron 100 times out of 100 times. Come on. Come on. LeBron is in the argument of being a top 5 player. Steph is in an argument of, can he get in the top 10? Because if you're putting Stephen Curry in the top 10, who are you bringing out? Larry Bird? Who we bringing out? Larry Bird? Who? So I don't know. So is this size based, Steph versus LeBron? Nah, I think it's versatility based. Because I think I'll pick Jordan ahead of LeBron, but LeBron is 2 inches taller than Jordan. I would put Jordan ahead of Kareem. Kareem is 7 foot tall. I just don't think he is. And it's not about LeBron's athleticism, really, because right now you got players in the NBA today that are dominating the NBA and they're not really athletic. That's why when they keep on talking about this, the fastest era, dudes jumping out the building, I'm like, so if that's the case, why can't nobody stop Nikola Jokic? Nikola Jokic is not the most athletic basketball player in the NBA. Nobody can stop him. He looks like he's running in mud. Nobody can stop him. You can't speed him up, and nobody can stop him. Joel Embiid plays with a little brutality and finesse, but nobody can stop Luka. Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is not going to win a slam dunk contest, but nobody can stop him. And it really exposes how much we make out of athleticism. Now, there's some people where athleticism really benefits them. Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, and all of these guys, but that doesn't mean that's all you need. Because we watch every single night Nikola Jokic dribble the ball up the court, do some 1-2 move, pop, pop, pop. It looks like, how's he doing? And next thing you know, you look at the end of the game, he got 24 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists. You're like, how the hell did he do that? So that's my point with Shaq. But hey, Shaq is entitled to his opinion. It is what it is. Nobody's going to stop Shaq from saying that because their IQ supersedes players' athleticism. That's a good point. And usually the players that are able to develop their basketball skills or their IQ and how to manipulate the game, those are the ones that last the longest, who don't rely on athleticism. So you look at a guy like Nikola Jokic right now, if he's dominating right now and he's not doing it with athleticism, how long is he going to be doing it if he remains healthy and he's interested in playing basketball? Because Nikola Jokic looks like somebody, if he wins 2 or 3 more championships, he'd be like, I'm done. Somebody said LeBron is not top 5 or top 10. Now, I got LeBron top. He gets on my nerves, but I think LeBron is top 5. I mean, I think he's top 5 because if I start going through the list, who would I put ahead of him? Who am I going to remove him out of the top 5? Who are the players we're going to put ahead of LeBron? To remove him. Now, I don't think he's a GOAT. I don't think he's number 2, but who are the players? Can we name 5 players better than LeBron? 5? Can we name 5 players? Somebody said Magic, I guess. And there are people that will argue with you with that. Skip Bayless believes Magic Johnson is better than LeBron James. Some people believe that, but to me, it's going to be kind of hard. Because LeBron was really good. I mean, he's not my favorite player, but he was really good. Somebody said Scotty. Magic definitely is. Yeah, so anyway. So that y'all heard what Shaq said. Shaq said he would slap the hell out of Chris Mad Dog Russo for what he had to say. So y'all heard what he had to say. Anyway, guys, appreciate you guys for being a part of this live. Before we leave, make sure you go subscribe to 2 Raw. Which channel did he come in here with? 2 Raw for TV. Make sure y'all go subscribe to 2 Raw. Now, matter of fact, Too Raw, drop the link that you want people to go subscribe to. Just drop the link. Let's give it a second. Too Raw, just drop it. Is Too Raw still here? Let me look for him, man. Too Raw basically came through and showed some love. Too Raw for TV. I don't know which one he wants. Is it Too Raw for TV or Too Raw for sports? I don't know which one he prefers. Let me go Too Raw for TV. I guess that's the one he prefers. So let me put that right here. Let me see. Hold up. All right, so y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to y'all go show some love to Too Raw for TV right there. Y'all make sure y'all go show some love to him. Anyway, guys, appreciate you guys. Dreamers Pro is definitely Lassisi Knobs saying Lassisi is top 5 with a losing record in the final. All right, I don't quite know what that means, but all right, man, you got it. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too, bro. I don't know what I did to deserve that one, but all righty then. Now you go ahead and have a good one, buddy. I don't know where that came from, but more power to you, buddy. Be on the lookout for content. We got content coming out later today. We're gonna be off on Christmas Day, so wishing you guys a very big happy Merry Christmas. Make sure you guys have a great one. Celebrate with your families. Have a good one. Stay safe and all that good stuff. And come on, you see, and I'm out. I'm out. Y'all already doing it, and I'm out. I'm out.